It is very good to see you all once again. Today, we have a simple story that I like to call I'm Coming Now. There was an abandoned house sitting in the middle of a fancy neighborhood in Clergy that nobody would go near, and I mean nobody. Now, my pal Albert was an agent and in charge of selling that haunted house, and he tried everything in his power to close a deal. But folks were too plump scared to make an offer, even a rock-bottom price. Finally, Albert lit on the notion of selling the house sight unseen to a rich city slicker from the estates. Worked like a charm, too, until the day the city slicker decided he wanted to visit the property after all. Albert was all set to take the fellow there at high noon, but the city slicker's train was delayed, so it wasn't until after dinner that the two men set off for the haunted house. It was dark and rainy night, but early enough in the evening that the ghosts might still be resting. At least, Albert hoped that was the case. Albert unlocked the front door and opened with an ominous creak. Albert swallowed nervously, but the city slicker just chuckled and said something about atmosphere. Albert relaxed a bit and wondered if he shouldn't have raised the price a bit. The two men entered a tall foyer, obviously fastened with dusty cobwebs. "Creepy," the city slicker said enthusiastically. He bounded energetically into the center of the foyer. "Come to me, fool spirits," he intended loudly. Immediately the whole house rang with a sinister, unearthly chuckle. Then the unearthly voice boomed, "I'm coming now." The city slicker jumped and then turned to Albert with a happy grin. "Great special effects! How'd you do that?" "I didn't," Albert said, his teeth chattering. He backed up until he hit the front door and stood there with his hands on the knob. "I'm coming now." The voice boomed again, and the city slicker grin slipped a bit. He looked at Albert's frightened posture and then followed the agent's gaze towards the stairs. A bright light exploded into a being at the top of the step and quickly resolved into a sinister green head with flaming eyes, withering hair, and fangs instead of teeth. The head opened its mouth and screamed a terrible high-pitched sound like a scrape across the nerves. As the head began to roll down the stairs towards the two men, Albert's nerve broke, and a moment later he was halfway down the road, his own screams rivaling that of the specter in the house behind him. It was until he was almost home that he realized that he had company. The city slicker was running along beside him. "Mister, I don't think I want that house after all," he panted. "Why not?" asked a hauntingly familiar voice. Albert and the city slicker looked over and saw the green head with flaming red eyes, keeping pace with them as they raced down the street. The city slicker gave a screech that would have shamed a banshee and disappeared into the distance so fast there was no keeping up with him. "Must have been the asking price," the floating head said conversationally to Albert. The real estate agent shrieked over even louder in the city. The real estate agent shrieked even louder than the city slicker and ran away so fast his shoes made sparks against the pavement. The next day, Albert quit the job and moved to Vancouver, where he spent the rest of his life working on a fishing boat, and the haunted house fell into ruins and was eventually torn down. Hey everybody, this is Fortune Gentleman 24 here, and sorry for that kind of odd but funny Halloween story. Because today, I'm pretty sure you all heard the old saying of the 25 Days of Christmas for the whole ABC's Christmas movies and such. So I decided, hey, why not do something a little bit different? I love Halloween, so the 31 Days of Halloween. So basically, it's pretty much just going to be each day there's going to be a new video, Halloween related, either ghost storytelling, if I find stuff that's pretty good and I don't kind of laugh or mess up a bit, sorry. Um, Video games. You might see something that you like, maybe something new, maybe you want to try some. Movie reviews on some good Halloween movies that you should watch. And a few other stuff that may come along, but till then, you're just gonna have to wait, because each day it'll get more and more intense. Hopefully. And by then, you may be able to beat the challenge by getting all the way to the 31st. If you make it to the 31st, and you leave a comment on each video, all the way from today, and, okay, if you leave a comment and a like, each video from October 1st to October 31st, whoever does this for each day, they get a shout out. And I promise to give them a shout out by the end, before October 31st. October 30th, the people who do this the most, they get the shout out, and they may win something. Something Halloween related. Not gonna say what it is, but you'll just have to wait and see. Till then, have a good day, and don't try to have anything scary come your way.